Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences, we'll let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Hi, and welcome back to another Realistic Sustainability Educational Short. It has been an oddly stressful election year. Some are excited, and some are disappointed, just like every single election year. But this one was a little different because more people were involved. More people were involved because they felt like it was important to be involved. Some, when you talk about environmental, felt like climate change, national park protections, energy reform, wildlife protections, human rights regulations, and so much more were on the ballot. And they might have been, but remember, presidents are only a single person. And yes, power changes by group and by team. And they can set the tone, but they don't really make a tremendous amount of change. Today, we still live in a world where a tree is more important as paper. It's worth more as building material than a habitat or an oxygen producer, or even a carbon sequester, in a world that is plagued by climate change. We're in a world where land is more important as a resource, and not for its biodiversity or natural beauty. Political leadership only does a small part of the change. They can add or subtract regulations, forcing companies to be within a certain range of safety, finance a small percentage of businesses to continue R&D, just help subsidize the cost of a technology. But the most important thing they do is influence others. Political teams have a lot of followers, and things don't necessarily have to make sense for them to follow. So I guess the best thing they do is some of them convince people it's okay. There's a lot they don't do. Politics are generally either bad or less bad. They never really seem to hit good. They say good. They say a lot of good. But they don't always follow through on good. Something always stops it. We have to remember we vote with our dollars. We can actually make that change. They don't. Remember the video that I posted recently about going to Grand Rapids and staying at the Hilton? Hilton isn't necessarily known for being sustainable. But enough people stopped going to them, so they built one that was better. That's voting with our dollars. Because it doesn't matter who's elected. For every Keystone pipeline that's canceled, there's a Line 5 out there endangering much-needed natural resources. I know jobs are important, but fresh water? That's quite a bit more important. It's nice that we're back in the Paris Accord. And really, it is nice, but it's symbolic. Half the country's happy, half the country's upset. Very few even know why. But either way, it's still not a plan. It's still not a true goal. We have joined the rest of the world of acknowledging that there's a problem, but it doesn't draw out how to fix it. Some minor numbers about reduction, but no way to do it. That's what causes confusion and anger amongst people. We need plans. We need action. If you want an example that sometimes political leaders don't necessarily matter, take the last 3.5 years. There's been a large focus on removing protections for solar and wind, and pouring resources, large amounts of resources, into older industries like coal. Well, what happened during that time? Solar was up 9%, which is a smaller gain than it was when they had their subsidies, but still up. Wind, 9.6%. Both of those went up, even without federal support. Almost all federal support was poured into coal. Well, how did coal do? Did they take all that money and jump through the roof? No. Coal dropped 1.8%, even with all of that influence and all of that financial support. Why? Older systems are not cost effective. It doesn't matter. People are making changes. Their habits are being seen by other companies. And with or without the government's permission, things are going to change. People and companies are now divesting in old solutions like coal and oil and putting their money into newer, more optimistic industries. Those old dirty processes are kind of fallen to the wayside. No matter what the rhetoric is, we are moving and demanding better. And it doesn't matter who leadership is, as long as we, in general, continue to do the same. No one should be celebrating right now the change of leadership. It sounds like it's going to get better and people are optimistic. And there's a lot of people out there who believe that the old process that we had the last 3.5 years was the way to go. They're not celebrating. But right now, none of us should be celebrating because it's not fixed. We still live in a place where the electrical grid is run by dirty sources. It's fragile. And there's no real signs of change, of upgrading that grid. Sustainability can't happen without energy reform and small microgrids. Everybody knows it. Professionals know it. College professors know it. It just isn't moving in that direction yet. We still live in a world where we have emission-induced climate. And it's still a political issue when it should be an environmental, a chemistry, or human rights issue. We haven't even got out of the argument phase. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson that said, it's funny that climate change is a political issue. I've never seen them argue about E equals MC squared. We can't exhale. It is not time to take our foot off the gas. We have to continue to focus on the things we can focus. We reduce plastic. We reduce our waste. We reduce our energy. We continue to live a more sustainable life so that companies who feel that heat from it start to make their changes. Little bit, big bit. Keep working at it. No matter who is in the leadership role, our kids will thank us. I hope you enjoyed this week, and we'll see you next week.
This episode is sponsored by Melting Me. Join the star of Melting Me, Nicholas Nazarian, in his journey of weight loss as he tries to teach himself how to live a healthy life in a supersized world. This podcast is an honest and open look at everything from his real-life struggles to his victories big and small. Come get your melt on with Melting Me on your favorite podcast platform. We appreciate you listening. Now please enjoy the show.